Hey everyone, welcome back. I am incredibly pumped to have you here today. In this explainer, we're going to unlock something absolutely game-changing, the blueprint for supercharging your freelance efficiency using artificial intelligence. We are breaking down exactly how the most successful, modern professionals are managing their workloads, taking back their time, and completely overhauling their daily routines.
Look, if you're a freelancer, a remote worker, or you're building any kind of online income, I bet you feel this in your bones. You are losing hours, literally hours every single day, to repetitive, soul-crushing work. Just think about your typical day for a second. How much time do you actually spend doing the creative, high-value work you love versus the hours lost to mind-numbing admin? Typing out the exact same email replies, staring at a blank screen trying to draft a proposal, or just getting bogged down in endless formatting. It's exhausting, it drains your creative energy, and worst of all, it puts a massive ceiling on your earning potential.
But consider this. What if you could just win those hours back? Seriously, I'm not talking about some far-off sci-fi fantasy here. I'm talking about the practical, everyday reality for successful freelancers right now in 2026. AI isn't just a buzzword anymore, guys. It's the ultimate time-saving solution. It's basically your dedicated, tireless assistant. And today, we're going to look at the exact strategies you can start applying right now to reclaim your day.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Freelancers time trap, then move into supercharging your daily tasks. After that, we'll walk through a real-life project workflow, highlight 5 common AI mistakes, and finally, we'll discuss why AI won't replace you.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the Freelancers time trap, and how you go about reclaiming your absolute most valuable asset. Because in the freelance world, time literally is money, right? It's that simple. And there's a stark contrast between the old way and the 2026 AI way. Every single hour you spend manually grinding through repetitive admin work is an hour you cannot bill for, or an hour you aren't spending resting and recharging. The underlying problem is that running a business just requires heavy administration. But the modern approach, it shifts your role entirely. Instead of being the one typing every single word from scratch, you become the director. You spend mere minutes prompting an AI copilot, guiding its output, and editing the results. You basically graduate from being the factory worker to being the factory manager.
Okay, let's move into section 2, supercharging your daily tasks. Let's look at 15 specific ways AI saves you time.
According to the blueprint we're digging into today, there are 15 distinct, everyday areas where AI can step in, solve problems, and drastically cut down your working time. We're going to group these together to show you just how vast this ecosystem really is.
Let's kick things off with communication and admin. Think about proposal writing. It traditionally takes hours of staring at a blank page, right? Trying to sound professional and persuasive. Well, by using an AI tool, you just input your core offering and the client's needs, and bam, you generate a structured, persuasive proposal draft in seconds. You're saving potentially hours per proposal, and the same goes for email replies and client communication. Instead of agonizing over the perfect wording for, say, a difficult client, your AI copilot drafts a polite, crystal clear response for you. It can even take your messy meeting notes and instantly turn them into organized meeting summaries and project plans. You're essentially delegating all that daily communication friction straight to your assistant.
Now, AI is also an absolute beast when it comes to accelerating the creative phase, specifically content and creation. Research and brainstorming ideas used to eat up whole afternoons. You'd have 50 tabs open just searching for a good angle. Now, you prompt an AI with your topic, and within moments you have a fully organized research brief and a list of 10 fresh angles. For content writing, graphic design, presentation creation, and even video editing and social media content, AI steps right in to do the heavy lifting of that first draft. It completely cures blank canvas syndrome. You don't start from zero anymore. You start from like 60%, which turns hours of drafting into just a few minutes of refining.
And finally, for our everyday tasks, we have the technical and polish category. Whether you need some coding assistance to fix a weird bug on your portfolio site, a quick translation for an international client, or just rigorous, eagle-eyed proofreading, AI handles the tedious execution. It spots the dumb little errors you missed simply because you've been staring at the document for way too long. This guarantees a high-quality delivery every single time, saving you the embarrassment of typos and the utter boredom of manual review.
All right, let's actually put this into practice. Section 3, a real-life project workflow. We're going to take a project from that very first client message all the way to final delivery.
Picture this. You just get a vague, kind of rambling message from a brand new client asking for a project.
In the past, you'd spend an hour just trying to decode the thing. But now, for steps 1 and 2, you just feed that message straight into your AI and ask it to extract the core requirements and deliverables. Instantly, you have perfect clarity. Then, moving right into step 3, you use AI to conduct your baseline research. Within minutes of opening that initial email, you have a solid grasp of their industry, the target audience, and the scope of the project. And honestly, you haven't even broken a sweat yet. Next up is the core execution phase. In step 4, you prompt your AI to generate a solid first draft of the content based on that research. For step 5, you fire up AI design tools to generate layout concepts or graphic assets that perfectly match the client's brand. Then in step 6, once you, the human director, have edited the piece and injected your own unique voice and style into the work, you run it back through the AI for a final, meticulous proofread. What used to be a grueling 3-day process has literally been compressed into a highly focused afternoon of high-level editing and creative decision-making. And to wrap the whole workflow up, you have AI draft the absolute perfect professional delivery email. You outline the value you've provided, attach the polished project, and you can even have the AI draft a polite follow-up sequence just to ensure they received it and maybe ask for a testimonial a week later. From that initial messy client message to the final polished delivery, AI has been running quietly in the background, slashing your working time while massively improving both your productivity and the client's overall experience. Now, as amazing as all of this is, we've got to talk about the flip side. Section 4, 5 common AI mistakes and exactly what the pros do to avoid them.
These 5 pitfalls are super common, but they are incredibly easy to dodge if you're paying attention. First, copying AI output without editing. Massive red flag, guys. If you just copy and paste, your work is going to sound robotic and completely generic. The AI gives you the clay. You still have to sculpt it. Second, sharing private client information. Please, never feed sensitive, confidential client data into public AI tools. That is a fast track to ruining your professional reputation. Third, depending completely on AI. Remember, AI is a co-pilot. It is not an autopilot. You are still the expert in the room. Fourth, using poor prompts. Look, if you put garbage in, you are going to get garbage out. You have to learn how to communicate effectively with the tool to get those premium results. And fifth, ignoring fact-checking. AI can and absolutely will hallucinate information sometimes. A true professional always verifies the facts before delivering anything to a client. Avoiding these mistakes is exactly how you maintain top-tier quality.
Which brings us to our final and honestly most important section. Section 5. AI won't replace you, it is simply the ultimate productivity partner.
The reality of this technology is beautifully simple. AI removes the repetitive work so you can focus on creativity, strategy, communication, and your high-value skills. AI doesn't have your unique life experience. It doesn't have your empathy, your strategic vision, or your ability to build genuine, trusting relationships with clients. What it does is take the robotic grunt work completely off your plate so you can focus entirely on being human. You get to focus on the high-level strategy that clients actually pay top dollar for. You aren't being replaced. You are being upgraded.
So that brings us to the real question. The blueprint is right here in front of you. The tools are ready to go. Are you going to start using AI today to work smarter instead of harder? The most successful freelancers in the world have already made this shift. If you want to dive deeper into AI tools, online earning, and modern freelancing strategies, make sure you subscribe to our Explainer series and turn on those notifications because we are uploading fresh AI tutorials and insights all the time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next Explainer.